You're going to do the...
Hello, everyone.
Okay, never mind.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Rise Up podcast. I am joined by my brother, Grant Henry. What's up, Grant?
Not too much. Just always sunny here in Specular, New York.
Nice and freezing cold.
Oh, yeah. We've gotten a combined probably about like 3 feet in the past 3 days of snow. It's been wild. Like...
Truly wild.
Dude, it's been insane. Like I don't know if you saw the Instagram story I did the other day of just like, there's literally 2 feet of snow in my car. And so that was one day. And literally today, the same exact thing happened again. Where we just had that much snow in my car.
It's just cold. It's just cold here in Virginia. It's not snowy. It's just
What's your definition of cold?
30.
Okay.
I mean, I've been there. I know how cold it is.
Yeah.
That was before it got so cold.
Oh, I know. It's just funny to me. Like, I know everything's relative, but yeah. Oh, but sorry. You are going to tell the story now? Because you've been telling me about the story for the past week or so.
Yeah, all right, guys. So I have this story I've been wanting to tell Grant, but I wanted to save it for the podcast to hear his legitimate reaction. What?
So, everyone in my family knows this story. My mom knows the story. My sister knows the story. But Chandler won't tell me the story. He told me that all my family members not to tell me the story because he wants to tell me on the podcast. Not going to lie, it's kind of frustrating. But I'm hoping it'll be worth it. So, I'm excited to finally hear this.
Now we're giving the story too much hype. But
I'm excited. You've been hyping it up for me.
I do have to give the story some hypothetical context, right? So sometimes when it comes to magic, you have the ability to forge documents, right? Mm-hmm. This is not good. You should not do it. And just because I may or may not have done that, it doesn't mean you should say, oh, Chandler did that, I can do that. No. What I may or may not have done is 100% wrong. And that is what I'm prefacing this conversation with. Okay? So let's just, for the rest of the story, say that the person who forged this document's name is Handler Chenry. So it's not Chandler Henry who did this, right?
So,
not me. Okay?
So you didn't do this? This wasn't you?
This definitely wasn't me.
All right.
But I do have some insider information on what Handler Chenry did. That it wasn't me, though. Yeah, definitely was not me.
That sounds awfully similar to your name. That's a big coincidence.
Well, you'll see what I'm going with here, okay?
All right.
So, for those of you who don't know, I am 22 years of age, which means I am in college. Now, in college, lots of universities across the United States have trouble with parking. That means there's a lot of people in one small space, and they need to park their vehicles somewhere to go to class, right? The school I attend is no different. So,
those of you who read the comments of our videos have noticed a small meme going around where a couple people talk about the parking at Liberty University. I find it hilarious. Where? The parking at Liberty University.
Oh, yeah. I'm not necessarily talking about Liberty University specifically because this wasn't me who did this, right?
Oh, my mistake.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was not me, dude. Okay, but let's just say, for instance, it was me.
Okay.
Parking passes at this school, this theoretical school, costs $400. And that's on top of a $30,000 tuition, which, sucks. It bleeds you dry. Mm-hmm. Anything you make through YouTube, if this Handler Chenry happened to make money through YouTube, would go right towards college, right?
Do you happen to know his username? I'd subscribe.
I think it's Milosz X. So, what actually happened? Parking passes were $400, right? Now, parking is so bad at this school that even if you were to buy that $400 parking pass, you still wouldn't be able to park your car unless you got to school at 6 a.m. So let's say you had a 10 a.m. class. If you wanted to come to school for your 10 a.m. class, you couldn't park your car. You'd have to either take a bus or get to school super early and just hang out till your class happens, which is not something that, Handler Chenry wanted to do, especially, let's say parking was free and it was first come, first serve. And, that was the reason why you couldn't get a spot. But if you're paying $400 for a spot, you want to be able to use it. So Handler Chenry was like, heck no, I am not paying $400 for a parking pass. So there's this program at this school that wants to reward people who save spots, right? It's called the carpool program. And what the carpool program does is instead of giving you one parking pass, it lets you share one parking pass between two vehicles and carpool. So what the people who made the carpool pass were thinking is that it turns what would be two cars into one. So you give them one parking pass, and we'll make it attractive by making it cost a lot less. Make it cost $30 to get a carpool pass. So let's say Handler Chenry had a significant other, a girlfriend, right? And he wanted to go all Bonnie and Clyde, have a life of crime. Let's say Handler...
You're going to say it's always appealing.
A life of crime is always appealing. So let's say that Handler Chenry had some skills in magic, some skills in, you know, arts and crafts and stuff that comes with making magic gimmicks, and thought, what if I took the what if Handler Chenry took the parking pass and spent quite a bit amount of time making a fraudulent double of it and gave it to the other member of his carpool pass program so that you could turn one pass into two. That would be pretty smart, right?
Yeah, and especially if this Handler Chenry did YouTube or something like that, which I'm definitely going to try to find his channel and subscribe afterwards. He probably would have some good experience with Photoshop and stuff like that.
Exactly. So I talked to Handler Chenry, since I know him personally, and asked him what he did. So Handler Chenry took a picture of the parking pass and brought it into Photoshop and changed the numbers around, changed everything around, but made it look like the most legitimate parking pass you've ever seen. Handler Chenry was a very skilled individual.
Yeah.
And then what Handler Chenry did...
Probably sounds like an extremely handsome guy, too. Just
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah, that's just extrapolation, but like I think it's a safe to say.
So Handler Chenry then went to Office Depot, and the parking pass is a hang tag, which means it's something that hangs from your rearview mirror, right? So what Handler Chenry did is he went to the Office Depot and found and looked through all these binders and papers to find the material that most closely represented and replicated that parking pass. And then what Handler Chenry did was he duplicated that pass, gave one to his girlfriend, gave one to himself, and parked his car in the $400 spots for $30 for 7 months.
That sounds amazing. Life of crime.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Well, I don't want to have people think it was worth it because this is the story.
Oh, the story's not over yet.
The story is not over.
Okay.
You know what they say, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Yeah.
So everything was sunshine and rainbows, right? You got the forged parking pass for the school, and you never get caught with it because there's 2,000 cars at the school, so how can they check up on that, right?
Yeah.
At least that was, and to be completely honest, that's not an excuse. You can't use something like that as an excuse to do something wrong, right? And I told I told Handler Chenry this, and he did not listen. Right?
It sounded like you were about to say Chandler Henry there for a second.
No, it was not. It was not me. It was not Chandler Henry.
Okay.
But what happened is one day, Handler Chenry got an email from the police department at a university that he was doing this at.
Oh dang!
And it said, your parking pass is either invalid or out of date. Please hand it in or have a $200 fine. So what Handler Chenry did, not me, he replied and said, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? And then the police department replied with a 6-paragraph essay saying, we caught you. We know you we know you made a fraudulent parking pass. It was very well done. But we caught you. We figured you out. So instead of charging you with criminal fraud, we're just going to fine you. And to that, Handler Chenry, since he wasn't really a hardened criminal, just wanted to save some money on a parking pass, apologized, admitted he was wrong, and handed in his parking pass. But it is not that simple. You see, Handler Chenry made one forged parking pass off of the original copy, which was a legitimate parking pass, right?
Yeah.
Then they became so alike after he was done doing the forging that we wasn't sure which one was the real one and which one wasn't. You know, because it is kind of important which person takes the fake and which one takes the real one.
Yeah.
So it turns out that Handler Chenry had the real one and his girlfriend had the fake one. It turns out that on the day that the police department at this random university found out that they were using a forged pass was his girlfriend's birthday.
Oh, man.
So this Handler Chenry's girlfriend called him and was like, did you get the email about they caught us? They finally caught us after 7 months. They caught us. What are we going to do? Are they going to tow our cars? And Handler Chenry likes to work out, so he was at the gym when he got this email and went out to his car, and his car was still there. So he just drove off and was said to his girlfriend, hey, if they didn't tow my car, they're definitely not going to tow yours.
Man.
Handler Chenry spoke way too soon because on his girlfriend's birthday, she walked outside to the parking lot and saw an empty spot where her car was parked.
Well, it's a good thing Chandler. I mean, it's a good thing that Handler Chenry sounds like a devilish rogue, like not only being handsome but also working out every single day.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy.
Seems like a pretty great guy, and so like stuff like that is excusable. Like, you mean, like,
I tell you what,
so
though,
like living a life
Handler
of crime just to be found out and absolutely destroy any opportunity that this lady had of having a good birthday. That's
that's definitely what Handler Chenry did. He ruined his girlfriend's birthday by having her car towed.
That only happens once a year.
It's true. It was a memorable moment, though.
The only thing I could the only thing I could think of worse than that is if like someone who you don't really know like broke their vertebrae and then made you come to the hospital with them.
Oh my gosh, I hate you. Guys, it's an inside joke that we might have to edit out. But anyway,
I'm not editing that.
Moral of the story, guys. If you're a magician, like Handler Chenry might be, you're going to have some skills. You're going to have some sleight of hand. And not only are you going to have some skills, just because of the whole magician persona, you're going to think that there's some stuff you can get away with that you really shouldn't try.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in my case, I mean, not in my case, in Handler Chenry's case, he got off very lucky with a warning and a fine, and he's very thankful that the police department was understanding and really gave him an easy way out of something that was pretty serious, which was fraud. And it really helped Handler Chenry learn a lesson that he shouldn't play around with stuff like that. But I just thought it was an interesting story about a hypothetical person that I might know that definitely was not me. It definitely was not me who did this.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't at my school, who happened to get away with, for 7 months, his own forged document. That's really it.
There we go. Well, it's a good thing that it wasn't you, and a good thing it didn't happen at Liberty University. I
hate you.
But,
all right, let's switch lanes to a different topic real quick. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I feel like I'm hearing a knock at my doorway.
I think we might have a few questions.
I texted you some questions because if you remember last episode of the Rise Up podcast, we said we want to turn over this podcast to you guys and have you guys control the podcast, ask us some questions. So we actually did get some questions, believe it or not, and we're going to read them off right now and try to answer them to the best of our ability. Grant, you got one for me?
Oh, yeah. All right. So the first couple questions comes from a username, Kieran.Elise. The first question is, why is Cars the best movie of all time? And I feel like that's a question that doesn't even need to be answered because that should be evident.
I'm kind of insulted that she would even ask that.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious why Cars is the best movie of all time. It's Cars.
It's just an absolute cinematic masterpiece. It takes everything great about action movies, which is like great cars and like cool scenes with like cars driving and doing stuff, and just takes away the human aspect of it, that imperfect human aspect, and just leaves it with the perfection that is motorized vehicles. So, other than that, the plot line is amazing. Killer catchphrase like "ka-chow." Who even came up with that? That's amazing. And so yeah,
for sure.
So, the second is Chandler. How do you come up with such quick, witty retorts all the time?
Is she being serious?
I believe so.
Oh, well. Don't mind if I do answer that, but for real. I'm very flattered. But I'm assuming you're a magician if you're listening to this, and if you're not, what's up? But one life skill that I would recommend, why should people learn magic, is that performing for people and constantly having to try and like cover up what you're doing and having people maybe like call you out on what you're doing
makes you think
really
on your
lends
feet.
you over the years to be able to think on your feet, be impromptu, and have quick responses.
There we go. Yeah, and not only that, but just like not really caring too much about what other people think about you, and like just building that sense of confidence where you can like get away with stuff like that. And so
yeah,
gives you the confidence, just throw stuff out there, think on your feet, and just be overall amazing in conversations. So learn magic on YouTube.
Yeah, learn magic. It'll help you be impromptu. It'll help you be confident.
Very true. And always give you something.
Maybe you can check out Handler Chenry's YouTube channel. I heard it's called MyCrazy Magic.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's where we need to go. All right. So next question. We're going to go from username IARCINIEGA_52. I'm not really sure.
I bet you that 52 means he's born in 1952. I bet you it has nothing to do with the fact that there are 52 playing cards in a deck.
You know what? That's what I was going to go with. So stop reading my mind. But the question is, what do you find motivates yourselves when you get bored with magic?
You want to go?
Yeah, I'd love to go on this one. And
all right, boy, cook it up, sizzle it up, cook this one. Put this in the pressure cooker. Kill this question, bro. I believe in you. Snap on it.
Are you done?
Kill it, bro. I believe in you.
All right, I'm about to roast it up like the feline in Monster Hunter. All right, so the cutscenes for that. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, so pretty much everything that I've done in life, like videography, photography, magic, design, physics, anything that like I've spent a good amount of time doing, there comes a point, usually around like right when you first start to hit the real learning curve, when you just get bored, you don't want to do it anymore, you're demotivated, you don't care as much. And so it usually comes after like whenever you're learning something, when you're first learning it, for that first like few weeks, you just feel amazing because you're learning something new every single day. It's so fresh, like you're always learning something. You can just see drastic improvements of you and yourself day after day after day. And so after you start to kind of plateau and the learning isn't as quick and you don't see those massive gains that you did at the very beginning, it does start to get boring. But that's when like that period where you push on in that middle there, even though something might not be like as fun to do as it first was, that's when you really separate yourself from everyone else. Because those first few weeks of learning something, anyone can do that. Like, that's fun. People like to learn as much as any 8th grader might say otherwise. Like, people like to learn. So
learning is awesome.
Yeah, like it's just instinctual. People want to learn new things. People want to get better. Just it doesn't matter what it is. It might be math. It might be art. It might be something completely different. But when you get to that point where it no longer becomes as fresh and as motivating as it was before, there's 2 ways that I know that you can get motivated. One is just have the mental fortitude to keep on pressing on and keep on doing it. And that's hard. That's really difficult.
It's called discipline. It's doing something when you don't want to do it.
Exactly. And that reminds me of a video idea that I'm planning on making soon. I don't know if I should talk about it here. I probably will. But I'll say this first. The other thing that you can do is shake it up. Do something different. So if you've just been trucking forward and just doing card magic and really learning card magic, maybe pick up some like coin, rubber band, other stuff, or maybe a different type of card magic. Or if you've just been focusing on magic, do like learn some card flourishes. Something different that's going to be similar so that you can kind of cross-train with it and learn things from it, but different enough where it is new and you can kind of have that whole new learning curve again. And so
for sure,
I think that's what really puts you forward there. But no, this video idea that I'm going to do in the next few days, the topic of it is going to be hard work is I'm going to call it hard work is an acquired taste.
Interesting. Sounds like a Casey Neistat video in a good way.
Yeah. kind of, just because like one of the things that I've always said for the longest time is if you have to acquire something, it's not worth having. And so I've always said this in terms of like stuff like coffee, alcohol, stuff like when you first like when I was a kid, when people like were like wine, I always thought it was like just some baller grape juice, because I loved grape juice. I loved regular juice. But like I went to a wedding, I had a sip of wine, and that stuff tastes like just urine and vinegar mixed together in the worst way possible.
You're going to trigger some people by saying that. I've actually never tasted wine.
I don't care. That's my personal opinion. If you like wine, go you. But stuff like that is an acquired taste. And so like working hard and working out in the gym, like when you first start doing it, you don't like it. It's not fun. No one wants to get out of bed and go and put up some heavy weight. No one wants to get out of bed like not just like, and you have free time to go and do stuff. Some people like just want to play video games. Video games is my draw. I like doing that. And so having the mental fortitude to just say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go work hard on something and do something different, like work out, practice, do other things. That's really hard to do at first, but once you do it enough, you start to find yourself enjoying it. And once you really see like the results from it, and you see yourself feeling better because of it. So that's when you acquire that taste.
The only thing I would say is really just hammering home what you said, is that if you're bored with something, find some way to mix it up and do something different.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I've gotten really bored with making YouTube videos at a point, because just specifically tutorials, they can get a little boring to film because you really just set up a camera and teach something, and then when you edit it, for me, I really love editing videos, and when I edit a tutorial, I can't like do anything. I try and do something creative and fun with the edit.
Yeah.
I always try and do something creative, but sometimes with a tutorial, it's got to be like a straightforward edit. So sometimes editing that video can be boring. So when I get bored with that, I try and make a video that's like something completely different.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we started doing the Rise Again vlogs. And back in the fall of last year, when we were just pumping out tutorials, I hit up my friend Dryden and was like, yo, teach me how to breathe fire. Let's do a tutorial on breathing fire.
Yeah.
And doing videos like that will really get me motivated and get me back into it. Just mixing it up and giving yourself something different to do.
Yeah, I feel you.
Challenge it. I think as long as you keep yourself challenged, you won't get bored.
Very true.
And like you said, it's easy to get bored when you hit that plateau of not knowing what to do next, not knowing what to learn next.
Exactly. And also just acquire that taste of working hard.
Yeah. All right, what's the next question?
All right, next question. They say, what inspired you to start Rise Magic properly? All right, can I start this one?
Go for it.
Because this is actually a fun story. So, those of you who don't know, in college I was a physics major. I was studying physics. I was going through it. I was actually physics and teaching. And so I took a graphic design elective and really enjoyed it. So what I would do for fun some days is just go to the graphic design lab and just play around with the programs and learn stuff. And didn't really think much of it. I just thought it was something I did for fun. And there came a point one day where a really good friend of mine, Katie Barrett, shout out to her, but we were just really good friends. We were going to get lunch or something like that. And so I went to like the Union Era School, which is like the lunch place, not like the cafeteria, but like kind of more like a fast food type style place that you can still use your college like credits on. And so I went there, got myself some nice chicken tenders and fries. I went and sat down, was just eating them, like doing some homework while waiting to just meet up with her. And she just straight up stood me up. She just never showed up. So I was kind of like, all right, but we were good enough friends where like I wasn't too worried about it. I just texted her and said, hey, what happened? She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was in the engineering lab for the next, like doing a project, and I just got carried away and lost track of time. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll meet up another time. And we did. And so we went and sat down. We were talking about it. And she said, like, I know this might sound like crazy, but I like it when that type of stuff happens. And I was like, why? Like, you spent like 4 hours in the engineering lab. That sounds terrible. It's like, yeah, like afterwards it was. But something my grandpa, sorry for words right there. Something that I think it was her grandpa or her father always said to her is like, once you find yourself losing track of time doing something, that's how you know that's what you should be doing with your life.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, that's some knowledge right there.
That's a great quote. I love that.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, dang. Yeah, you're right. Like, that's cool. And so I didn't really think much about it at the time. And I went on my way, and like I went back to the graphic design lab to do like a little project that I was doing. I wanted to learn After Effects, and I went and like I was meant to like spend an hour there because I had a big project due the next day. And so I was trying to do like this video where like I had different layers, and like there were mountains and stars in the background, and like I was standing there. Looking back on it now, it was absolutely terrible. But I meant to be there for an hour, but I spent 4.5 hours there that night without really realizing it. And so I sat there and looked at the clock. That was like the day after having that conversation with her, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, man.
Right afterwards, saying lose track of time doing something. So I was like, all right. I called my mom. I ended up changing my major the next day to having a minor in graphic design, and like just fooling around. I ended up came home for break, and me and you went out and performed in media just for fun together. And then we talked about making a thing, and I was like, well, I'm learning all this graphic design stuff. I'll make a logo. So went and designed a logo that we're still using today, the Rise arrow. And I think once we had that like that branding, and I feel like that really set us forward to go through.
The logo made me feel really cool.
Yeah, and then like I started doing graphic design stuff for my friend's company, which was a 3D printing company, and they needed a website done, so I taught myself how to make websites, and I built them a website, and just kept on plugging forward to there. And since I learned how to do a website with them, I was able to make a website for us first off. And like once you have a website and a logo, you're set.
Yeah, it makes you feel like very professional.
And it makes you look professional. Like people will see you and take you seriously. And so like being able to send people to a website.
And we got the business cards too.
Oh yeah, the business cards are fresh. And so I look back to just me and Sharon being on the phone talking about different logo ideas, and like me having Illustrator open up on my computer, just plugging stuff out. And I feel like that was like the first real start of Rise.
The start of the YouTube channel is a story for another time.
Yeah.
I will not tell that story until the time comes.
There you go.
It's a good one.
All right. All right. So I feel like one more question.
All right. I'm feeling that question. Or am I going to sizzle this one? Am I going to pop it, cross it out, drop it on top?
I think you're about to Giannis this.
Oh, boy.
Or Paul George on Kevin Durant. Who knows? Whatever you're feeling like. Power finesse.
If someone gets the references we're making to basketball players, comment below. I'd love to talk NBA basketball with you.
Oh, yeah. Sharon's been doing some guerrilla marketing for Rise Magic on...
That's true. You know we talked about in the earlier podcast, the appreciation squad?
Yeah.
The only time I've ever really commented, I go on the Rise Magic YouTube account instead of my personal one, and if it's like on a basketball video, I'll come up with some really witty comment and comment it on the Rise Magic account, and get like 400 upvotes and try it, and people will be like, wow, you got a nice channel. So I'm like Grant said, guerrilla marketing Rise Magic on NBA.
If you're from one of those comments, if one of those comments is how you found us, let us know.
0% chance.
Yeah, true. You're right. Anyway, last question for this one, just because we need to get on to stuff because we have a strict time limit today. So, I'm an absolute moron.
Wait, hold up, real quick. The last person who asked the question, what was their username? I want to make sure we.
Oh, the last person. Oh yeah, it was Wall is Luke. WALLISLUKE.
Big shout to Luke.
Wall is Luke. Big shout out.
All right.
Last question. This last one. This is from AYUSHK_47.
Nice username.
Ayush _47. I think that's how you might say it. But he says, I'm assuming your gender, I apologize. Grant and Chandler, I just wanted to let you know what an inspiration you guys are. Now to my question for your next podcast. What is your optimal workout, and how often do you guys work out?
All right. Well, first off, what people don't get is we get a lot of those comments that are like, you guys inspire us. Mm-hmm. If in any way, shape, or form I've ever inspired you, please tell me, because that's what inspires me, is hearing that. Yeah. So... _47. All I know is your username, but thank you so much. It's hearing comments like that when we were just talking about getting bored doing something or getting bored making YouTube videos. Hearing that type of stuff just motivates me and inspires me to keep going. So thank you. Now, working out. Wow. Loaded question because I'm passionate about that. When I first started college, I was actually an exercise science major. So, real quick, for me, if you're curious about what I do to work out, I do not want to be a bodybuilder. I am 6'9" and I love to play basketball. So I don't want to get like huge, like bodybuilder huge. I want to stay lean.
You want that lean build.
I want to stay lean, quick, and athletic for playing basketball. And obviously I don't play at a serious level anymore.
I forget what podcast it was, but Chandler said white LeBron. That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's my build. So I'm 6'9", about 230 pounds. LeBron's 6'8", like 240. So I'm trying to get up there to about 10 more pounds. But I want to make sure I stay lean and quick and never build up enough muscle where it slows me down. But I also want to look freaking ripped.
Oh yeah.
You know, for
you
reasons.
You want to look as good as Handler Chenry.
Yeah, I want to look like Handler Chenry. And I'm sure his girlfriend would appreciate if he continues to look like Handler Chenry.
Very true.
Anyway, what I do is honestly I watch a lot of YouTube videos on working out, and that's where I get all my information from. So I'll do this as quick as possible, because I know some people are interested in this. I always warm up my triceps, work out my triceps. Then I hit the chest, do some chest flies, do some bench press, right? So I go from triceps to chest. Then I go to shoulders. I dislocated my shoulder over the summer, so I got to be really slow in warming up my shoulders. Do my shoulders just for all of these. I'm literally just working till I can't do anything anymore on that specific body part. Moving on. So we got tricep, chest, shoulders, biceps. Really getting nice preacher curl pump on the biceps. Usually do like about 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps, and then we finish off with back. And I like to go really ham on back, really hard on back, because it's such a big, strong muscle in your body. You want to have a strong back. And I do that workout every other day.
That'll look like a Dorito.
And the proest of pro tips, okay? Being strong up in your arms is cool and one thing, but the mark of, kind of like the genuine, like generalized mark of being strong is having good core or having good abs. I'm going to give you the tip of a lifetime. And if you listen to me right now, if you listen to the words I'm telling you, it will change the course of your life forever. So turn up the volume and listen up.
Give me a second. I'm turning up the volume. All right.
Do randomabs.com every single day.
Yeah, that website is fire.
Randomabs.com. So the word random, the word abs, abs.com. What that is every single day it gives you an ab routine that'll take you about 10 minutes. If you do that every single day, you will have an 8-pack or a 6-pack, whatever your genetics will let you have. It is the best ab workout of all time. So if you want to stay lean and get great abs, seriously, just do random abs. It takes 10 minutes a day. Just do it. And you'll see how much it changes your life when you're swimming in the summer and you're not afraid to take off your shirt, because you know you're packing the heat. You're packing the 6-pack of not beer. Your stomach. You fall in the sand, your shirt gets dirty, that nice white shirt that you're wearing, you just take it off, wash it off right on your abs because you got them washboards. Put it back on, you're good. Yeah, and then obviously you can't neglect the legs when you're working out, so just to say that really quick. No. I play a ton of basketball. Well, I play a ton of basketball, which is a good leg workout. I'm jumping, I'm dunking on people. A lot of jumping, a lot of running, so that's a good leg workout. I never really lift on my legs. I don't like squat. I do a lot of plyometrics, which is like springing and jumping workouts on my legs. So I run and jump upstairs, stair climbers, stuff like that. And a lot of jumping, like calf jumps and stuff like that, to try and keep my legs springy and strong so I can get my vertical up nice and high and dunk on my enemies.
Very true. Well, I'll just give quickly what mine is right now. I actually just took a couple weeks off because it was so cold. Whenever I went to the gym, I just felt like I was going to pull something. And so,
dang, you got to start working out in a hoodie.
Dude, I was straight up in a hoodie.
When I visited you over the break for that, I completely understand. I was wearing 6 layers and I still got cold working out in your gym.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just playing basketball 2 times a week is what I was doing. But basically, what I'm doing Monday is push. So push means chest, tri, shoulders, all your muscles that you generally use to push. Then Tuesday is basketball day, so I'll play basketball, also do some sprints and jumps like afterwards and stuff like that. Then Wednesday, I'll do pulling, which is back, biceps, and rear delts. And then the day afterwards, Thursday, I'll do basketball again with some jumping and sprints. Friday, I'll go back to push. Saturday, pull. And I'll try to do random abs at least 4 days a week. I've been bad on random abs just because I'm a lazy and demotivated. And yeah, I just need to be very... one of the things that really motivates me is self-deprecation. So I don't recommend it.
That was dark, dude.
No, I'm kidding. That doesn't actually motivate me. But just like whenever I am feeling demotivated for stuff like that, I just try to look and be like, this is 10 minutes of my time now. Future self will thank me because, yeah, I'll be much better off in the future. So yes, I can just sit here and eat chips and salsa for 10 minutes and do nothing and play Monster Hunter, which feels amazing in the moment right now. But I could do random abs instead. And
ooh, you just remind me of a sick quote.
All right,
one of my favorite. Sick quote time. Should I save it for the Rise Up segment? No. All right.
You already got one for Rise Up.
Be willing at any moment to sacrifice what you are now for what you will become.
Ooh. I like it. Alrighty.
All right. You want to switch up to the memes?
Yeah. So that's how we work out.
I doubt anyone subscribed to us to learn how to work out, but you asked. Yeah. So we provided.
All right. So memes. So as we all know, our favorite segment, stale memes. My favorite segment, at least.
I feel like this segment's getting super cringe, but that's the point, man.
That's the point.
I want to sound like the 80-year-old who doesn't know how to say memes, so I'm going to call them memes from here on out, okay?
Yeah. Get some fresh memes.
You want to start off with your meme?
I honestly forget what meme was since the beginning. We've gotten such a good conversation.
All right, I got one then.
All right, go for it.
Now, like I've been telling you guys, we love the NBA. We love basketball. And we're recording this on Wednesday night. Last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo dunked over another human being. Grant, I want you to put the video up on the screen right now. This video I want this video to be up on YouTube, on our channel. Giannis Antetokounmpo jumped over an entire human being, Tim Hardaway Jr., who's about 6'4". It's one of the most epic dunks I've ever seen. And then we all know Casey Neistat. He saw the video, tweeted out, and was like, "Yo, can someone put music to this?" And there was some,
which I find kind of funny because he's a filmmaker, he knows how to edit. So why wouldn't he just? But
yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
he wanted to unlock the creativity of the internet. So you got people editing it. I don't know what the song's called, but it's like na 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 na. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about.
That song. People were editing that over it, along with
give me a 3-second pause. I'm gonna put it into the podcast. All right.
Okay.
Just played.
All right. What's your meme?
All right. Mine is actually there's a certain person who might try to take credit for this, but I found this and sent it to a different group chat that isn't ours.
Oh my gosh.
Before this said person sent it to our group chat. But it says, "This video cassette I found at my grandma's house still makes me laugh so much." It's a VHS tape. Now, some of our demographic might not know what that is, but essentially, it's a box that you put into another box, and it plays videos. But people would usually label them what they are, and so this one says Pope's Funeral on it, but has Pope's Funeral crossed out, which means it was recorded over. And in place, it says Harry Potter. So this person's grandma had recorded the Pope's funeral, a prominent religious figure that must be in a very sacred ceremony. Crossed it out, was like, nope, don't want this Harry Potter. That's what we're going to use the space for instead. And I just think it's hilarious.
Man. You know I've never seen a Harry Potter movie?
Neither have I. And I don't really want to. I read the books and I thought they were all right. Wasn't anything that I was crazy about. Maybe it's because I didn't grow up with it. But
when did you read the books?
I read them in high school.
Gotcha.
11th grade. So
all right.
Anyway, we got about 8 minutes left. Let's get into Rise Up.
Okay, guys.
All right.
I'm about to kill this Rise Up segment.
Before you go, I'm just going to reiterate mine from earlier because...
okay, I'll find mine.
I'm just going to reiterate it, all right? So, whatever
be quick, but don't hurry.
Exactly. Whatever you find yourself losing track of time doing, pursue that. Do that because that's what you should be doing. Because you don't want to spend your life just worrying about like, I just have to get through this. Just have to get through the rest of this work day.
Dude, I don't know if you guys know, but me and Grant don't plan out these segments. We want it to be like original content with us talking to each other. That quote actually high-key inspires me because I cannot tell you how many times I have gotten lost in editing a video and been up till like 4 a.m. without even knowing it.
Yeah, very true. And so, yeah, that's something that like I wasn't even planning on saying at the beginning of this podcast, but like telling that story reminded me of it. And like, shout out to my homie Katie Barrett. I haven't seen her in a while. I'm hoping to go down to New York City because that girl she inspires me because like, back when we were in college and we were friends, I think it was like my freshman or sophomore year. She was like, what I want to do is I want to be an engineer in New York City. And I was like, dang, that's a lofty goal. That's hard to achieve. And she was like, that's just what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. And so I was like, all right. We chilled a bit and like, went throughout college and finished up. And now she is a successful engineer in New York City.
That's inspirational.
Yeah. She is a highway... Gosh, I'm going to screw this up and she's going to be pissed if she listens to this. But she is also an avid fan of Rise Magic, I will say.
All right, let's move on to the next one because we're running low on time here.
Yeah, now, 5 minutes. But just end of the day, she's like she helps design the signage and like do the roadways and stuff in New York City, which is absolutely dope. And like, Katie, if you're listening to this, shout out to you for going and accomplishing what you set out to do. All right, your turn, Share.
All right, man. So you guys remember the Rise Magic motivational video I made at the beginning of 2018, right? It was all about not being afraid to fail, failing harder, not being afraid of failure. Now, this past Sunday was the Super Bowl. And Nick Foles, who's a strong Christian man, just like us, won the Super Bowl. And this is what he had to say, and it's my Rise Up segment. I think the big thing is don't be afraid to fail. I think in our society today, Instagram, Twitter, it's a highlight reel. It's all the good things. And when you look at it, when you think like, wow, when you have a rough day, my life's not as good as that, you think you're failing. Failure is a part of life. It's a part of building character and growing. Without failure, who would you be? I wouldn't be up here if I hadn't fallen 1,000 times, made mistakes. We're all human. We all have weaknesses. And I think throughout this, it's been important to be able to share that and be transparent. I know when I listen to people speak and when they share their weaknesses, I'm listening because it resonates. So I'm not perfect. I'm not Superman. I might be in the NFL. I might have just won the Super Bowl. But hey, we still have daily struggles. I have daily struggles. And that's where my faith comes in. That's where my family comes in. I think when you look at the struggle in your life, just know it's an opportunity for your character to grow. And that's just been the message. Simple. If something's going on in your life and you're struggling, embrace it because you're growing. And that quote is by Nick Foles after he won Super Bowl MVP as a backup quarterback on the biggest stage in American sports.
True. Man, so that inspires me.
I don't think I need to add anything to that. That's all I got.
Yeah, like just what he did. Like after Carson Wentz got injured. And like I will say that me and Jared aren't huge Eagles fans. We don't really care about football too much.
It's all basketball.
All basketball. So I don't really care too much about the Eagles. I've been following them, but I knew a little bit about it because some of my coworkers are huge fans. But Carson Wentz, he got injured. He was their like MVP quarterback, brought the Eagles to like a great season this year. As soon as he got injured, everyone was like, they're done. Like the Eagles, there's no chance of them even making the play, like doing anything anymore. Like no one expected them to go to the Super Bowl. No one expected.
And Nick Foles went up against the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady and just balled out like he had nothing to lose.
True.
It was awesome.
He
had nothing to lose, He wasn't afraid to fail. He was not afraid to fail.
There's a certain type of confidence that comes from having nothing to lose. And so, like when I was in high school and I did high jump, there's this dude who like was just doing really well and he was talking to me. He's like, I was like talking to him like, how do you like, this is my first time doing it. And he was like, how do you like jump so well and like perform? He's like, I just don't give a crap.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump and then I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to do whatever, because at the end of the day, who cares? And it's like, that's actually not a bad attitude to have about things, because
there's a quote that says, everyone fears the man who has nothing left to lose.
Yeah, very true. Because if you play like if you've got absolutely nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Alrighty. So I think that's a great place to end this off. Do you have any final words to close this out?
Nah, man.
This upcoming week?
Stay motivated. Keep doing what you're doing. Embrace the struggle. Learn from it. Don't be afraid to fail. It's nice talking to you, Grant. And we'll see you guys next week.
One thing before we go. Any of you guys who are still listening to this point, I want you to comment below. I know we've asked for a few comments this episode. It's a habit you get into. But something that you want to accomplish this week. Ooh. And put that in writing in the comments as something to back it up. And at the start of the podcast next week, we want to know if you've accomplished it. So,
it doesn't have to be anything
huge.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All right,
doesn't have to be anything huge. Like even just a small thing, like I want to learn this new thing.
I want to pass my math exam. Stuff like that. Yeah. It's perfect. All right, man. We're running out of time. So, we'll see you guys next week.
I'm going to put this out. Like, we have about a minute left.
End it, Grant. End it. Cut the cord.
My thing that I want to accomplish this week is I want to film that video that I was talking about earlier.
All right.
That's what I'm going to try to do this week. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great week. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. We will see you Monday with a tutorial, Thursday with another Rise Again that's hot fire that Chandler edited together, and then Saturday again for the next podcast. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Have a good week.
Deuces.
Peace.